Make sure he didn't put anything in there. Food.
So what are your thoughts about this experiment?
It's really embarrassing. It's really hard to do too.
Yeah.
Which is weird because
pretty embarrassing.
we're just asking like normal everyday questions like, excuse me, we're lost. How do we get to this place?
Yeah. Well, everyone spoke English to me when I would say it, but yeah.
I told you.
Yeah. But when she would speak Japanese, like everyone would respond to her in Japanese.
Yes.
So,
Even when she was with me, like
yes.
we started, I think there were a couple times where she was like, I want to do this. And I was like, okay, go ahead. And like she would start and they would be like, huh?
Yeah.
And then I would say it in Japanese and they'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
in Japanese.
Yeah.
Except for like a couple times, like they would have the small phrases, like the group of 3 guys who like touched, the one who touched her hair.
Yeah.
One of them was like, it's very far.
Yeah, very far.
So I tried
Or 1
to act
minute, remember?
Yeah, because I tried to act really dumb and be like, what's Sanjupun? Or like, what's this? And then he was just like, oh, it's very far. Or like, very, like, one guy was like, 1 minute.
1 minute, and then like on his phone.
Yeah.
Why do you think some people speak Japanese to you and English to Jasmine?
Maybe because my Japanese sucks. I don't know. I've never had that experience before, actually. Like, some people would respond to me in English if I asked them a question, but for the most part, I feel like outside of this experiment, I can communicate well and people will talk to me. Well, actually, that's usually like outside of the city, though. Yeah.
I guess for me, like, maybe it's because, like, I speak Japanese fairly okay, but also maybe because I look kind of like I could be Japanese. I don't know, like, usually I'm almost all the time, like, it's always in Japanese when they respond back, and it's very rarely that they'll use English. Like, even just the tiniest little thing in English usually is very rare. So,
Yeah.
like the fact that it was with, like, Zach and Jasmine, those times, like, I was like, oh, finally English. But, like, any other time, it was always in Japanese, so.
Tell me about the hair touching.
That was interesting.
It's still funny.
That was interesting.
Still funny.
I'm
like-
glad you said something though, because
I
I think
did.
I was trying to stay
You
in
were so
character or
polite
something.
about it.
I think I was trying to stay in character because usually when people touch my hair, I touch their hair back. And that doesn't really happen much in Japan. I think the last time someone touched my hair, it was a girl in Okinawa, which I think
Like, it was really weird too, because I was like watching the guy, and like when I saw him just like
Slowly.
slowly reach up, like it was like it wasn't even like the normal like oh, I'm just gonna touch your hair, but it was just like the curious like child, like, what is this kind of thing, and like the whole time I was trying to act like I didn't speak any Japanese, and then when I saw him touching her hair, like, she was still trying to be polite about it, and she was like, oh. And then I was just like, "Sawanai-te-yo," like, completely normal, and they all laughed, so I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh, that kind of broke that illusion a little bit.
yeah. So she knows more Japanese than just that.
What do you think is the best approach when you are lost and you want to ask for directions?
Oh, okay. This is for me.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So far, you have to say why you want to talk to them. So like every time we just started off with sumimasen, like there was that split second of just like, oh, I'm gonna ignore this person.
Yeah.
But the moment we would start saying like michi ni mayotte imasu ga, like we're lost, but. Like, that usually, if we said it fast enough, that usually got people. Because there were a couple times where, like, we did the experiment before, and, like, I would start off with sumimasen, and they would start ignoring me, and I would just be like, sumimi, like, I would try and get it out, and then they would stop and then be like, oh, okay, they're not offering me something. So, like, if you say, you know, I'm lost, or, like, my Wi-Fi isn't working, my phone is dead,
Yeah.
like, that, as long as you're like, I need help in some way, shape, or form, they'll help you.
Yeah, just sumimasen does not come
Yeah.
in.
If you're just like sumimasen, like, they'll just ignore you and walk away. But if you like state your reason, then definitely like
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, like they'll stop and help you.
Any other thoughts?
This was fun.
This was very fun, interesting.
Very interesting.
I have words for her because, and anybody who's feeling discouraged about Japanese, doesn't matter if your Japanese skills aren't that good, if they're like very minimum or if they're very high, always practice, always, always, always. Don't feel like discouraged to speak Japanese if you're not confident, because like you're not gonna get confident if you don't practice. So
This is
like
true,
make
yeah.
your mistakes. Like Japanese people, it's like when Japanese people try and speak English, they're afraid that like some foreigner is gonna make fun of them. Don't no. We understand like the whole language thing. Japanese people also understand the language thing. So like if you're trying, you're putting an effort, and it's just like, okay, they understand that you're trying to communicate even if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
So always try, whether you feel nervous about speaking or not. That's
Good
my final
advice.
thought.
Good advice.
Yeah, miss.